Welcome to Care Less with Carly, the podcast for people who are done playing by their roles. I'm your host, Carly Lynn, and each week we'll cut through the noise with real talk, bold conversation, and expert insights to help you trade perfection for purpose and live life on your own terms. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Care Less with Carly. I'm here with Brilliant Lou. He is the founder and curator behind the massively influential Instagram account, House of Leaders. House of Leaders is a digital platform that shares bite-sized wisdom on leadership, mindset, self-mastery, and personal growth. With well over 1.5 million followers, Brilliant has built more than just a page. He's created a movement rooted in intentional living and conscious leadership. But behind the quotes and the viral content is a deeply thoughtful person who's navigated his own journey of unlearning, self-discovery, and stepping into purpose. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Brill's mindset and how he built a brand that leads from the inside out. Welcome, Brill.
Hey, thanks for having me, Carly. Appreciate you.
Of course, I appreciate you. Can you tell our listeners where in the world you're joining from?
I currently live in Jakarta.
Cool.
Jakarta is the capital of Indonesia.
It's awesome. So for all of our listeners, if you're planning a trip to visit Indonesia, Jakarta must be on your places to visit. Well, Brill, I'm so happy you're here and I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. I always love starting with the human before talking about the business. You've built this massive, inspiring community, but I want to rewind a little bit. Can you start by telling us who were you before all of this, before social media, before building House of Leaders? What led you to want to start something like this?
Okay, that we will have to throw back to 10 years ago. So before I started House of Leaders, I was a really shy kid. I was, say, introvert to antisocial. My relationship with my single mom is really bad. Every time we met, it's always a fight. We debate, we argue, we love each other, but we don't love each other, if that makes sense. And also, because of my chaotic childhood, I was emotional. I was hanging out with the wrong people. It's really hard for me to introduce myself to someone, to talk to someone new. But everything changed when I met my first mentor who inspired me about leadership, which leads me to start House of Leaders.
What do you think that version of you before starting House of Leaders would say if he could see you now?
He won't believe that we are here. Because back then versus now, I'm a really different person. I'm glad that I go through what I go through because I am someone who believes that the journey we go through along the way shape who we be in the future. The people you meet, the team you hire into your brand or your company, the thing you learn, the challenges you face, all those experiences what shaped me today. My friend asked me, if you had the chance to redo everything, do you want to redo it? I don't want to redo it. I'm content and fulfilled with what I have right now. But my 10 years ago self won't believe me that we are here because I was the opposite person 10 years ago.
What do you mean by that?
I used to be really lazy. In school, I was doing really bad. I think I do it consciously because I kind of want to rebel with my mom. And I stopped learning things. I stopped doing good at school. And that actually impacted my life. I have no basics when I graduate and when I go to college. And I see the word, what the hell is this? I don't even know a thing. And I had to relearn everything. So it's kind of hard for me, but I think I will be proud of my past self because of what he did. I am here today, but I don't think he will believe me that we will be here. He need to go through what I go through to be able to achieve what I achieved today, to become the person I am meant to become.
Totally. That's such a great way to talk about the challenges that you've experienced because they are the core of who you are. And without each one of those obstacles and milestones that you overcame, there would be no house of leaders. So, going back, you mentioned that there was a really important mentor in your life. How did that mentor and your experience with him lead you to start House of Leaders?
So I was working as a broker in a investment company, and I was going through this contact list that I gathered, and then I contacted him, and then I set a meetings, and I go meet him, and then um, I introduced myself, and then we started chatting. He started with these questions: what are your purpose in life? And then that got me thinking, I don't have any purpose in my life. Back then, I just want to work to make money, to prove to my mom that I can succeed. And then that question got me thinking, I don't actually have a purpose in life. And then he continued to ask, I try to blabber things out. My purpose is this, my purpose is that. And then he says, that's not real purpose. Okay. And then he changed to another question, like, what is your dream? Do you have any dream in life? Like, do you want to have a home? Do you want to build a family? And then we continue to talk this kind of conversation, like, before you die, what is your legacy? What legacy do you want to leave? Not just for your family, but to the world. And then to your kid and the people around you. I was just so intrigued with this person. I want to learn from him so much. I asked so many questions. Then we met again. I sat another meeting, I think a day or 2 days from that initial meeting. I find a vulnerable moment where he kind of touched my heart and used the right words that I actually share all of my childhood to him. And then he shared his POV, and he says that if he were in my position, this is what he's gonna do. And everything is about leadership. There's actually a lot of principles inside of leadership, and it's really wide. And he explained to me a lot of things. And long story short, I asked him, do you want to be my mentor? I just want to learn from you. I just want to see how you do things, how you respond to people, like everything. I just want to learn from you. And he said, yes. And since then, I think that's February 2015. Even a few times that I went home really late, we talked like whole night. I just listen, I just learn, and then I jot everything down. But that happens for like 2 to 3 months until I think late April, I started sharing about leadership, because there's so much things I think that these topics will help people. So I started posting on my personal account on Instagram, just sharing. I consider it like blogging. So I find a quote that actually match on the thing I want to share, and then I post it, and then I write really long with my really broken grammar back then. Until one day I met another mentor who teach me about social media and branding and how to start a brand. That's how House of Leaders was founded.
You just gave so much great backstory. It sounds like this person, your mentor, was so instrumental in really learning the principles of leadership, not just something on paper, but actually how to be a leader. And he led by example. You came with him to meetings and to see exactly how he lived his life. And I'm sure that was really eye-opening for you to start embodying that way of being and those principles. So then it sounds like now you met somebody who was able to introduce how to put this online in a virtual capacity.
Yeah, so most of the thing I learned from him is through the thing he did with others. So he is really humble. He is rich, he is successful, but he is really humble. So whoever approach him and ask him things, he will share everything without actually afraid of people being his competitors. That is something I embody now. So whenever people ask me about branding, personal branding, social media, how to grow your followers, how to create a story that is actually great enough to be posted on Instagram, or how do you host a workshop, how do you attract audience. I share everything without actually being afraid, having that fear of people wanting to be my competitors. That's what leads me to collaborating with a lot of people.
For a lot of people, posting on social media is very vulnerable. So how did you get past that fear?
That is an interesting question. So I actually don't know when I changed into this person. My mom actually always teach me to not share anything that will have the chance or have the capacity to kind of shame your family or reduce your reputation. It's a bad image. Until my first mentor inspires me that it's okay to be vulnerable. Vulnerable is a strength, not weakness. And then I also learned a lot from Brene Brown, from the book and from the TED Talk. And also, everything like really flips 180 when I met the first person who teach me, who explains to me about spirituality. And also when I've joined Tony Robbins' UPW in 2019. I think I leveled up a lot that year. But I don't remember the exact process I changed from being afraid to share anything into a person who is really open, like an open book.
If you had to define what that light bulb change was in you in 2019, how would you explain that?
Okay. Let me just bring all the listeners to a little bit story and journey. In 2016, a year after I started, House of Leaders reached 100,000 followers. I was feeling I'm at my peak. I meant my relationship with my mom. I built House of Leaders. I learned about entrepreneurship. I want to start a business. But I think the universe has the magical ways on guiding you on which path you should take. And when you are ready, the universe is going to give you like this challenge to see if you are able to level up or not. I started feels like there's a gap between me and my co-founders. We are no longer aligned. Like they just want to build business, but I want to build something that is impactful. So it's not just a business that you can automate and then, well, money is important. I want to make money. Don't get me wrong. But it's not simply about the money you make. It's also about the value you deliver. And ever since then, I always want to over deliver. I always want to do more and serve more. Then after that, I was invited to Bali by my good friend to be a speaker. There, oh my God, it's like a call out that I have to start playing big and stop playing small. I met my first speaking coach there who inspires me that I can actually do more with what I have, with my capacity, with what I built. And from there, so before I went to Bali, I actually buy a ticket to Singapore to a Gary Vee event. So the speaker is going to be Gary Vee, Robert Kiyosaki, and other people. But the event got canceled. And the sales agent asked me, instead of refunding the money, do you want me to upgrade your ticket to Tony Robbins event because Tony Robbins is coming to Singapore? I can upgrade yours to the gold seat. And then, well, why not? Because we already booked the ticket to Singapore. And then that's how I got to UPW. So I think it's like a fate, a destiny, I will say. So I was guided there. And in the event is really life changing. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I learned so much. I connected with a lot of people. I like something in me sparks. Something in me, this is what I've been looking for. Like all the learnings, like everything I want to learn is in a place. I came back home. I started another community. It's called Better Story. It goes really big. We help a lot of people, and then COVID hit. Yeah, a lot of drama follows after that. We're no longer aligned, like fully not aligned with my co-founder. So I had to exit the company, and then I fall into quarter life crisis. But although it's not easy, I'm kind of grateful with whatever challenges universe throws at me because I came out stronger.
It was perfect. I want to switch gears a little because from the outside, it's easy to see a polished, curated brand. As House of Leaders began to grow, even past that 100K, now it's well over 1 million. How did you navigate the pressure to change your voice and change how you were showing up online? because I think that's something a lot of people struggle with as they become more visible.
Okay, that is actually a great question. Right now, there is the terms for it, faceless brands, faceless page. Back then, there's no such kind of things. There's only like this brand or this page. There's no faceless page. 20 late 2017 is when I met my wife. So my wife, back then is we were still boyfriend and girlfriend. So she says this to me: you need to start to build your personal brand. You need to start showing up yourself on House of Leaders. And then I told her, no, I don't know how to show myself. First of all, my English is really bad. If I go live, people will start unfollowing me. There's a lot of gonna be a lot of bad comments. It's gonna be chaos. Then my wife says something that is actually really is the right thing to say. She says, "Okay, one day if House of Leaders got hacked, how will you prove that House of Leaders is yours?" And that changed my mindset that I have to start showing up. But in 2019, I go to that Bali event. I start speaking. So the other speaker is really supportive, really kind. I shared to them. I am really scared of going to do Instagram lives, but I know I have to do it. Do you have any advices, feedback you can give me so I'm brave enough? Like I can't do IG live. So after we talk, all of them agree to support me. So the IG live is not gonna be solo. They are going to go into the IG live to do it together with me. Wow, that is amazing. So I ended up doing, I think, almost more than 10 IG lives. I grow from there. I learned so much through the IG live because I got asked questions and I learned from that. And that raises my confidence, my self-esteem. It's a great experience and I loved it. And I also get connected with my audience. I get to know them more. I no longer pay attention to the comments, the bad ones. It's really just flowing into the conversation, connecting with the other person, and just learn and shares. It's really fun, and then we do Q&As, and I just grow from there. I think it started from me myself being brave enough to share my shortcomings and all the stuff that I'm afraid of, like being vulnerable to share. I think the current societies right now, everyone wants to appear strong. But I think that is one of my strength, I would say, and one of the thing that I'm happy that I have this. I don't mind sharing myself like this is my strength, this is my weakness. I'm not good at this, I'm good at this to other people. So they know when they need help, they can look for me. And that's okay
Right.
because we are here, we are human, we're social, and we should connect and help each other.
And your community at House of Leaders is so tapped into that, to uplifting and supporting and encouraging each other. And that's a kudos to you for building the community in that way by showing your own vulnerabilities and your own stepping stones in growing it. How do you feel your definition of success has changed from when you first started to this point?
It has changed a lot. I think my definition of success is about the value I share, is about the legacy I will create. So back then, always have this, I don't know if it's motto or statement. I want to create a million of conscious leaders. Back then, I thought I had achieved that when House of Leaders reached 1 million followers. But then I thought, not everyone who is following is a conscious leader. But right now, I started to see the path, like the step by step I can do to reach there. And I want to make this my life work while I'm alive. Like I want to keep building and use House of Leaders as the platform to help people gain whatever knowledge and value they can. So my team and I can help them elevate, help them grow, can at least provide some tools for them to have a better life, have a better relationship. You don't have to be shy like me 10 years ago.
What's one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's feeling stuck or unsure of their purpose right now?
Well, there's a few things you can try. You can try go out and talk to people, but you have to talk with the right people, because if you talk with the wrong people, you're just gonna get more stuck, and the wires are gonna get more tangled. And another thing is can start journaling things out, because most of the times you already know the answer. For example, this happens all the time. When you share something to the other person, in the middle of you sharing it, you kind of figure out the answer. I think another thing, I do meditate. Well, sometimes I skip a day, but I do as often as I can. Well, there's a few things why I meditate. The first one is to just be present, to enhances my focus, because in the current world where there's full of distractions, I am someone who is easily distracted. So I practice that.
I have one last question I want to end on. When I care less about blank, I care more about blank.
When I care less about what other people think about me, I can care more about the quality of the thing or the products or the value that I deliver to my audience. Oftentimes, when I created something, I actually decided not to share this because of my fear of judgment from other people, also for myself. I judged myself really back then. That's what holds me from serving my audience. So when I care less about judgment from others, of what other people think, because I'm not here to please anyone, I just want to serve, that actually elevates my quality of work, so I can serve, I can deliver more quality value to my audience.
Brill, that was awesome. I really appreciate you sharing all of your wisdom with me and with the listeners. What you've built with House of Leaders is incredible. It inspires me every single day. It's been such a thought partner as I've been growing my own Care Less brand. And I just want to thank you again for being here and for continuing to be such a light in this world.
Pleasure was mine. I really enjoyed this conversation, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to Care Less with Carly. If this episode resonated with you or reminded you to stop living by someone else's rules, I would love to hear about it. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, leaving a quick review means the world and helps more people find the show. If there's a guest you'd love to hear from, DM me their name at Care Less with Carly on Instagram or drop me a comment. I'm always looking for powerful, honest voices to bring into this space. Until next time, you got this. Keep caring less about what others think and more about what makes you come alive.